The headlines. President Buhari says leaving ministers will be replaced without delay. Army arrests 3 soldiers for aiding terrorism. Gunmen kill 3 policemen in Niger State. And on the foreign scene, Ukraine begins first war crimes trial of Russian soldiers. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Ibrahim Yusuf. Now the news in detail. Some ministers have resigned to run for political offices following the directive from the President Muhammadu Buhari at the last Federal Executive Council meeting. The Minister of Information and Culture announced this on Friday while briefing State House reporters after a valedictory session held at the presidential villa in Abuja. They tendered resignation letters in compliance with a circular issued by Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, asking political appointees seeking to contest the 2023 elections to resign. Some of them have either purchased the presidential, governorship or legislative nomination and expression of interest forms for the ruling All Progressives Congress. The coalition of northern groups has accused the Igbo Leaders Consultative Forum and other groups clamoring for a presidency of Igbo extraction of unpatriotic and anti-nationalist activities. Spokesperson of the coalition, Abdul Aziz Suleiman, who made the allegation during a press conference in Abuja, also called for the arrest and prosecution of IECF members led by former Anambra Governor Chief Chukwuemeka Ezefe for threatening the nation, its institutions and people. Abdulaziz added that the recent warning by the IECF that any attempt to deny the southeast zone of the presidency in 2023 would rupture Nigeria's corporate existence exhibits desperation on the part of the southeast leaders, whom he said should not be allowed to produce the president come 2023.
Coordinated killings of northerners and degradation of their assets have escalated unchallenged across southeast communities. Igbo elders openly threatened to take unfriendly action against Igbos who are secretly or openly working against the political interests of the southeast region, and its ambition to produce an Igbo aspirant in 2023, and even promised to place a curse on any Igbo politician that accepts to be running mate to any candidate that may emerge from the north. The Igbo resort to long practice tactics in the form of attacks on northerners and against agents and symbols of the federal government of Nigeria in the southeast have deepened the fears that the Igbo cannot and should never be trusted with presidential power, and rendered their renewed desperation for Igbo presidency suspect.
And the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has revealed that it has concluded the configuration of the bimodal voter accreditation system for the conduct of the June 18th Ekiti State governorship election. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who made the disclosure, also announced that the Commission has finalized arrangements to undertake a mock voter accreditation exercise in Ekiti ahead of the main poll. He also disclosed that the Commission has decided to suspend the online registration in the next 3 weeks to enable the online registrants to complete their registration physically at the designated centers before the exercise is suspended on June 30th.
Of the bimodal voter accreditation system, the BVAS, following complaints received from the recent area council elections in the FCT held on the 12th of February 2022. For the first time, the Commission deployed the Automated Biometric Identification System, the AVIS, which is a comprehensive and robust system involving not just the fingerprint identification, but also facial biometric recognition. The lessons learned from the most recent by-elections have been taken into consideration as we prepare for the forthcoming Ekiti and Osun governorship elections. The Commission has finished the configuration of the BVAS for the Ekiti governorship election. To further ensure optimal performance of the BVAS on election day, the Commission will undertake a mock voter accreditation exercise in Ekiti State ahead of the governorship election on 18th June 2022.
Now to matters of security, where 3 soldiers have been reportedly apprehended in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State for complicity in terror activities in the troubled area. The arrest of the 3 soldiers was sequel to an order by the military authority for an investigation into the discovery of missing ammunition at the military base in Shinkafi. One of the arrested soldiers confessed to engaging in selling ammunition to the terrorists. The soldier also confessed that he had sold about 100 rounds of 7.62mm SP, each at a sum of 100,000 naira, and planned to sell another round of the same ammunition to the terrorists at a sum of 1 million naira. The 2 soldiers arrested were said to have been collaborating with the terrorists, while the other one was selling the live ammunition to the terror groups. Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State, where the incident occurred, is one of the front lines of terrorist activities in the state. Meanwhile, gunmen suspected to be kidnappers on Thursday night killed 3 policemen and a commercial motorcyclist in the Suleja area of Niger State. The incident took place around 11 p.m. near Old Barracks in Suleja town. Sources said the policemen were responding to a distress call from a nearby PDP quarters where the gunmen had reportedly come to kidnap some targets but were ambushed by the gunmen. Suleja Council Chairman Abdullahi Shuaibu Maji said 3 people who survived the attack were currently receiving medical attention at the Suleja General Hospital. The police in the state is yet to confirm the incident. Meanwhile, the police in Edo State arrest a mother of 4 with a human skull suspected to be for ritual purposes. The Edo State Police Command on Thursday paraded 15 other suspected criminals over various offences in Benin City. Nafisa Bello reports.
Parading the suspects at the police headquarters in Benin City, the Edo State capital, the police public relations officer, SP Kotangs Bello, briefed newsmen on the various offences allegedly committed by the suspects who were arrested for criminal activities ranging from cultism, armed robbery, tomb vandalization to sale of human parts.
And it's within this commitment and is our leadership style that the command recorded this success and arrested these various criminals that they are seen, ranging from vault and grave robbers who specialize in breaking graves, removed a corpse in the grave and disseminate some of the parts of this corpse. We also have some arrested cultists who conspired among themselves to either kill, maim, or cause body injury to members of the general public.
The mother of 4, Josephine Adu, who deals on traditional items in one of the major markets in Benin City, and her accomplice, a herbalist, Oyegoke Olushola, narrated their involvement in the alleged crime. She disclosed how she bought the human skull for 8,000 naira and sold it for 40,000 naira.
That February, come meet me. Say, Mama, beg, they waiting one and do. I say, what be that? I say, what be that? He say, I want to buy human skull. I said, that is dangerous. He say, you know, if he put me for Wahala, that is that February. When me cause on Monday now, I did my top. The big police come, got they arrest me. Say, la me say, I fed the night, say, I don't know. But when I reach station, no, I don't get choice again. That make me call agree, say, la me buy am first. They say how much I say buy am. Then I say 8,000.
The Edo State Commissioner of Police, Abu Tuyaru, has however assured of the command's renewed commitment to rid the state of criminal elements while working within the ambit of the law to protect lives and property of the citizens. Nafisa Bello, Trust TV News, Benin.
The Sultanate Council in Sokoto has condemned the killing of a female student at the Shehu Shagari College of Education. According to the police, Deborah Samuel, a level 2 student, was accused of making a social media post that blasphemed Prophet Muhammad. The police said the students forcefully removed the victim from the security room where she was hidden by the school authorities, killed her and burnt the building. Videos on social media show men stoning and flogging a motionless body draped in a red attire. Some footage also captured a raging fire as a man faced the camera, claiming that he killed and burnt her and brandishing a matchbox. Reacting to the statement, the state governor, Aminu Tambuwal, condemned the act, saying those behind it must face justice.
Everything is being done by the security agencies to fish out those that are behind this dastardly act, and they will be accordingly prosecuted as provided by law. Let me further appeal to our citizens that we must not develop or imbibe the habit of taking law onto our hands. It is important that whenever and if there is any issue that one or some people are not comfortable with, they report such to constituted authority.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Still to come after the break, collaborative efforts to end malaria. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now look at our top stories. 10 ministers have resigned to run for political offices following a directive from President Muhammadu Buhari at the last Federal Executive Council meeting. And 3 soldiers have been reportedly apprehended in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State for complicity in terror activities in the troubled area. And moving on to more news now, clerics have called for more action from the government to secure the release of the victims of the Kaduna-Abuja train attack. The clerics and the interfaith prayers organized by the Jami'ir Matan Arewa in Kaduna said only a genuine approach could bring an end to security challenges. The report.
The interfaith prayer was attended by clerics and people from different faiths to pray for the release of the victims of Abuja-Kaduna train attack, who have been in captivity for more than a month. The president of Jami'ar Matan Arewa, Rabi Saulawa, says the interfaith prayers became necessary in order to seek for divine intervention to secure the release of the victims.
I'm on the forefront of this, trying to solve this problem, because we realize it's a socio-economic, ethnic problem. And if you don't solve it this way, if you want to solve it militarily, it will only get worse. So we want the government to be proactive, to consult with people who are genuinely looking for this situation. This is no time for blaming other people. It's time to come together and see how that we get out of this problem.
Chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, Kaduna State Chapter, harped on the need for government to deploy contemporary measures for addressing security challenges and the release of the victims, while Islamic scholar Sheikh Abubakar Gumi maintained his earlier position that a military approach would not address the security challenges but consultations and negotiations.
I've always tell people who care to listen that democracy is about, or governance is about protecting lives and properties. If you don't protect me, even if you build everything for me, I can use them because they are not useful to me. So protection of lives and property becomes the most ideal thing we want today in Nigeria. We need two things: freedom and protection of lives and properties. We need to work together, Christian, Muslim, and everybody in Nigeria. Evil triumph because people are divided. But the day people become united, evil will not triumph. I think what evil does is that it will come to my house and my brother would think it is me. When it goes to him, I would think it is him. It will go to another person, he will think it is different people. But when we all come together, we can stop evil because these people are not spirits. We can see them, we know them, some people know them, but people are just afraid. And that's why I always tell government, when you begin to relate with people, there are people out there who can honestly tell you the truth of this matter.
For a month now, since terrorists attacked Kaduna-Abuja train and abducted many passengers on board, the families of the victims have been crying for the release of their loved ones who are still in the hands of their abductors.
All private health institutions in Gombe State have been shut down for operating below standard. The State Executive Council took the decision during a meeting presided over by Governor Ino Ahaya. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Habud Ahiru, said about 29 learning institutions offering health courses are suspended over failure to meet requirements and accreditation to operate as standard health institutions.
The council noted the proliferation of especially School of Health Technologies in Gombe State, and this is not auguring well to the human resource that we need. These schools are not registered properly. They don't have the prerequisite structures, facilities, and manpower, and the training become inadequate. This results in their inability to get accredited, to get certificated, and they have no license to practice. So invariably, when they complete their studies, they keep roaming around in the town and they will have no job because they are not certified to practice. And the end result is quackery. They move market to market, or they establish small patent medicine stores and they are practicing. And this is not healthy to the development of health regulation. In that wise, the council now asks the committee to look into all the standards required for a school such as the School of Health Technology to exist.
And the need for collaborative efforts to fight the scourge of malaria, especially in Nigeria, where children under 5 years are mostly affected, has been stressed. This was the position of stakeholders at the marking of the 2022 Malaria Day, organized by the wife of the Kwara State Governor in Ilorin. The report.
According to reports, 241 million cases of malaria were recorded last year, with 95% in Africa. With an over 600,000 people, especially children, who died from the disease last year, the wife of the Kwara State Governor calls for concerted efforts to correct this.
Malaria, as we all know, is a life-threatening disease caused by parasites that is transmitted to people through the bite of the infected female Anopheles mosquito. Although preventable and treatable, the disease continues to have a devastating impact on the health and livelihood of people around the world. According to the 2021 World Malaria Report, there were an estimated 241 million malaria cases in 2020, 95% of them in Africa. So you can see that Africa bears the burden of malaria infection.
The prevalence of the malaria cases in Kwara State before the advent of this administration was 27% and has been reduced to 20% through collaborative efforts. Renovation of hospitals and injection of funds to fight malaria are some of the efforts of the present government that have led to reduction in the scourge.
The prevalence of malaria in Kwara State before His Excellency assumed office through Otoge revolution has been higher than 27%, which is very, very high. But I can tell you as of today, or let me even say as at last year, 2021, the prevalence of malaria in Kwara State had dropped to 20%.
Since we came on board, the direct fund in the tune of 150 million naira that we injected into the state malaria elimination program has boosted the malaria-free Kwara initiative and elevated our status of collaboration in the Global Fund supported National Malaria Elimination Program to a sub-recipient status.
At another event where foodstuff and medical equipment were donated to Muslim women to cushion the effect of COVID-19, the wife of the governor assured of her determination to ensure that people of the state enjoy the best of time.
President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated 76 housing units in Gombe State. The project is part of the National Housing Program Phase 1. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The project, located along Bypass Road, Gombe, consists 76 housing units, roads infrastructure, water and electricity. The housing project was awarded in November 2016 at the sum of 727.4 million naira, excluding cost of road infrastructure, water and electricity. Represented by the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, President Buhari said the houses are affordable.
So if you are interested, you can go online and indicate your interest and obtain it. And looking at the amount spent and the infrastructure provided, I believe that if you take that into consideration, you will appreciate the price. Particularly as we all know that land in Gombe is very expensive. In the entire northern states, geographically, Gombe is the smallest state when it comes to the land mass. Our people in Gombe are very friendly. If you live in Gombe from any part of the country, you come to Gombe, you will discover that it is home away from home.
Gombe State Governor Inwa Yahya, who was represented by his deputy, appreciated the effort of the federal government for the initiative.
In the face of this reality, the intervention of the federal government in providing houses and shelter to residents in Gombe State, Phase 1, which consists of 76 houses, with the provision of necessary infrastructure, is highly commendable, and the government remains grateful for this. It will be recalled that the Honorable Minister of Works was here also in 2020 to commission a similar great project by the Gombe State Investment Company, financed by the Federal Bank of Nigeria.
The project comprises a 48 unit of 2-bedroom bungalow, 24 units of bungalow, 4 units of 1 bungalow. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Now a quick look at the foreign scene, where Ukraine has started its first war crimes trial since the beginning of Russia's invasion, with a 21-year-old soldier appearing in the dock, accused of killing an unarmed civilian. Vadim Shishimarin appeared at a preliminary hearing in Kiev and faces life in prison if convicted. Prosecutors say Shishimarin was driving a stolen vehicle with other soldiers in the northeastern Sumy region when they encountered a 62-year-old cyclist using a phone. He was ordered to shoot the civilian to stop them from telling Ukrainian defenders about their location. According to the prosecutors, however, Shishimarin is yet to enter a plea. The trial will reconvene next week. Ukraine says it has identified thousands of potential war crimes committed by Russia, with hundreds of bodies being found in regions previously occupied by Russia. And in sports, American basketball star Brittney Griner's pre-trial detention in Russia has been extended for 1 month. Griner, a two-time Olympic gold medalist and all-star center in the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, was detained at the airport in the Russian capital in February on charges of carrying vape cartridges that contained cannabis oil in her luggage. Griner, who plays for the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury, was in Russia to play club basketball before the US season resumed, common practice for players who can earn much higher salaries in foreign leagues than on domestic teams. The 31-year-old played in Russia for the last 7 years during the WNBA off-season, earning more than $1 million per season, more than 4 times her WNBA salary. And with this, we wrap up Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for joining us.